Y'all should see all the comical retakes and stuff that I've had to do when I'm doing a photo for the live stream. Which is really kind of funny because if you think about it, I mean, everybody wants to do those really cool poses and stuff like that, like this. And anyway, that's all over, said and done with, and I am giving you an update on the situation here at the shop. The situation is this: everything looks better after the water dries up. So we got the water all dried up in the shop, and so now we are looking forward to basically starting back where we were before Nate. So anyway, oh, let me take you outside. I have to go out to the truck and show you what's going on with the 34. Now, in the perfect world, and this clown is not perfect, this is what we did. Let me turn the camera around. So, you would think that, you know, the hinges, when I was looking at it, were not correct. So if I put this in the car on the lid where the trunk is, if I did this the way I wanted it to, it would be backwards. Let me close the door because it might start raining again. All right, back up the long ramp. All this right here, that is aluminum for awnings. Whenever I build awnings, I use this aluminum. I use that right there to cut it. Oh. This is some of the stuff that we moved around. Golly. It's still quite a mess. I've got to move some stuff around. Like a lot of wind out here. Customer brought us that right there. That's a bimini top that goes on a boat. That's more income. Anyway, if I were to situate this thing in the car the way I thought it was going to be, like this, put 1934 in there, but when you open up the trunk lid, and this is what it goes on, you open up the trunk lid, and this is how it is situated and oriented on the car. So that's wrong. So very wrong. Oh well. Okay. No, it's not wrong. It's perfect the way it is. Okay. Enough Arnie impressions. Well, let's see here. Let me turn around. Go back to the old horse. We are back to the old horse because this one over here took a chit. It's not working. It's not sewing. I don't know why. I'm going to have to take it apart and see if I cannot set the timing back on it. Anyway. So, as I have said before, the Tango seats are in good condition. There is nothing wrong with them. They have been inside the studio and or shop house slash protected. So there is the seat right there. This is a preview. This one came to us and we had to build another one just like it. And that is the lean back and seat. I still have to do this one right here. That's the lean back to that seat. Anyway, what this looks like when they're sitting in the boat is this and this. So that's what it looks like. I prop that up just like that. So anyway, they brought that to us. Hey man. Hey, that's Joshua. Okay, hey Joshua. Thanks, man. But anyway, come on, autofocus. Focus, focus. Come on. There we go. Trying to get in focus there. Okay, so anyway, they brought us this right here, and they asked us to duplicate and make another one. just like that one. So when I set these two over here side by side, you can't tell the difference. So that's the one right there. This one's mate. So all the top stitching had to be followed just like the other one. Had to have just as many panel inserts as the other one. And now our next little shindig is going to be putting all the fabric on this one right here. Alright, so, and as soon as I get that done, then I'm going to burn the midnight oil. I'm going to basically be getting started on that. Love your work, such a shame about your workshop. Yes, it is a shame. I'm not even going to give you guys the grief of having to look at that again. That was bad. But as soon as we get everything all cleaned up in there, I'll get you guys back out there for a revisit in the shop and show you how nice it could look in there. But all right, let's see. And this is the seat bottom of the Tango. Of course, it's, you know, just imagine a mobile home that has been gutted, literally, of all of its furniture, and all of this stuff right here I moved out of the shop prior to Nate. So that's why it looks so dang crowded in here. I mean, I'm talking seats and all that kind of stuff. Matt, you said you need some seats for that drift truck. I think I can hook you up, buddy. All right, let's see here. Okay, off in the distance, this is a wraparound lean back that goes on a 45-foot Cabo. This is its counterpart right here, which we have to put a covering on the back side of that because a portion of this is actually visible from the back side. So we're just going to go ahead and put some covering on the back side of that, and you can see the foam that's wrapped on this right here. It's only 1/2-inch foam, so it's only, you know, it's not as it's not even as wide as my thumbnail. So that's got to be put on there, and then we're going to use a product called Ply Grip. All right, Mark, what is Ply Grip? This is Ply Grip right here. So it gets stapled on, and then the fabric gets put into this crevice right here, and then the Ply Grip is folded over to give it a nice clean finished edge. So we're not going to use this. This has been sitting for a little bit, you know, too long. It is galvanized, so it will hold up maybe about 4 or 5 years in the right conditions. What we're going to do is we're going to paint it first. So anyway, this is the new sewing table, and the old the new sewing machine that goes with this took a chit, like I said, so I'm not happy about that. I have to take it apart and figure out what's wrong with it. Believe me, you thought engine work was bad. Engine work is not bad. Engine work is not bad at all compared to a sewing machine. I mean, you really have to understand the principles and dynamics of how the hook comes around to catch the needle each time and then tie off a knot somewhere between the two layers of fabric. One day we'll get into that, and I'll show you exactly how a sewing machine works. It's really interesting. If you guys ever wondered, just let me know if you want to do something like that. We'll do some live sewing and show you how the sewing machine works and all that kind of stuff. Ooh, looky here. Check it out, guys. This is what they call medium prairie tan. Medium prairie tan goes in a lot of Ford trucks. And while I was cleaning up and everything, I found some of that, which is going to be cool because I do know that one customer, at least one customer that I know of, called me up and asked me if I had any medium prairie tan or would like to take on doing the sew-up job on the bolster. Sorry about how dark it is, guys. It's not too bright in here. Anyway, yeah, all the fabric had to be put along the wall there and everything just to keep it, you know, protected and stuff like that. So good to see all is well with the family. Then before that, no problem. Love your work. Such a shame about your workshop. Appreciate that, man. And Gopher, those were some really, really cool shirts there that you sent to Matt. That was pretty cool. All right, make sure I'm not doing anything. Ooh, this right here. This is called Sensuade. High dollar stuff. $70 a yard. I am not kidding. 70 clams a yard. Very expensive stuff. All right, excuse my hand, guys. All right, so going back to what I was talking about before. I am going to find a place for this right here. We're going to figure out some place we can embed this into the Tango. I've already gotten comments about it, and I believe what we're going to do is we're going to take this clear plastic membrane off of this, which will open this up, and we'll probably put it right on the driver's lean back, or on the passenger lean back. And I'm going to ask Miss Denise, our embroidery specialist, to see if she can go ahead and duplicate this. And of course, have the cover cats with the eyes in silver, black background, black satin all the way around it on the fuchsia. So that's a done deal. We're going to go ahead and do that. And of course, you know, a clean shop is not a busy shop. I'm just going to say it. But I do the best to keep everything pretty much policed up around here. And I vacuum at least once a week. So it has been a hell of a week, and I have not had a chance to vacuum. So please forgive me for that. All right. Now, I'm going to have to take the 34. I'm going to have to take this whole piece right here. And yeah, I know. Let me give you a little background about that logo. I'm going to tell you guys something. Now, in 2010, Mama, Brenda Pierce, the original owner of the company. Let me take you a little bit further back than that. Not all the way back to the day I was born. I don't think you guys got time for that shit. But anyway. All the way back to when I was about 15 or 16 years old. And we had the unique opportunity to make a Union Jack. A Union Jack is basically something that would fly on a ship. Okay? Now, Dad wasn't in the Navy, but he was in the Air Force, and he spent a lot of time on Navy ships, radar ships more precisely. He also participated in the Apollo 14 mission. Apollo 13 or 14. Anyway, his job was on the USS Wheeling and the Redstone. Now, those two ships actually track with radar what's going on up in the sky. More precisely, the rockets that they would shoot up in the air. Anyway, long story short, we got back stateside here after being in the Philippine Islands. Yeah, we stayed there for about like 4 years. But we got back stateside and we had the unique opportunity to go ahead and do a Union Jack. Well, that was my first exposure to sewing machines. And you can imagine someone only being knee-high looking at a monster like that right there saying, oh my God, what do I do with that? So, you know, sewing machines really have not changed over the years. Looked a little bit more like this right here back in the day. So they have come a long way. Now, this one right here was made back when Singer was still the Singer Manufacturing Company. As a matter of fact, this says the Singer Manufacturing Company. This one is powered by an electric motor. And down here is a crevice for a belt, a secondary belt, so that you can run it on treadle. So remember those machines that had those little pedals right there? Anyway, all right, let's get back to the, you know, the first time I was exposed to the sewing thing. At the time, I was so intimidated by sewing machines, I really didn't want any part of it. And so, you know, at 15, 16 years old, the only thing you want to do is ride bikes and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't have my heart in the right place when it comes to sewing. But my mom did it, and I actually watched my father do it. And so, you know, history back before my mother's day, it was her mother, and then her mother before her. So Big Mama did it, Gladys did it, Brenda did it, and now I do it. So it's been in the family for quite some time, many, many, many years. So SEW, no pun intended. So a few years later, I wanted to, do the right thing and get involved with sewing. And it was about 17, 18 years old when my mom would literally be sitting there pulling her hair out. You could just imagine some of the things, pains and wiles and woes of sewing. Even with her experience, she was hard pressed to do the upholstery world because most of this was actually, um, doing garments for like Vanity Fair and stuff like that. And so, long story short, and I probably said that 3 or 4 times and it's turned into a long story. But anyway, I got out of the military and I was still dodging the knife. I was still dodging the needle. I didn't want to be around sewing machines until I got to be, well, let me tell you what I did in the military. I was a power generation equipment repair specialist. And so after the military, after I got tired of getting grease up underneath my fingernails, I decided that there was a better life for me sitting behind a sewing machine in air conditioning at times, but at other times I would not be sitting in air conditioning and I would become acclimated to the heat of the day. Uh, just a good, honest, hard day's work in the sun, in the hot shop, blah, blah, blah. Well, it wasn't too long after that that I got a shed that was like one of those 2-car garages. Yeah, yeah, I see that, Gopher. Um, and yeah, it is. It's not a hobby. I mean, it is a hobby, but it's not a hobby. And if I lost my business license tomorrow, I could still stay afloat calling it a hobby because, um, you know, I this is something I do, and then I sell my wares. So if somebody calls me up and says, "Hey, Mark, I need this," I'm gonna say, "Okay, well, these are the supplies you're gonna need. Let me go ahead and go to work for you vicariously and buy your supplies, and then go ahead and do the job. And the next thing you know, the job is done, and then I sell it for X amount of dollars." Hey guys, this is my wife, Hope.
I look horrible. Don't look at me. I need to turn on the Wi-Fi.
Need to turn on the Wi-Fi? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I can't run both at the same time, but I will turn it on.
When you get through.
A few more minutes.
Okay.
Anyway, hey, Joshua said hey.
Hey.
Hope said hey back. Anyway, um, so when Mom passed away, and let's get you up to speed here. When Mom passed away back in 2010, this company used to be known as Advanced Upholstery and Awning. But anyway, he said he's glad to see you're okay. But she said okay. But anyway, as soon as, well, it was just before Mom passed away, I told her, I said I had all intentions of going ahead and changing the company name. At that time, it was just a round oval in red with a checkered flag background on a blue background. We were Advanced Upholstery and Awning at that time. As a matter of fact, we even had those, golf shirts with the checkered pattern on the collar and the checkered pattern on the sleeve. And on the back, it was Advanced Upholstery and Awning. And that's all we had on there. It's 9644 SEW. So you could dial 251-964-4 SEW. So it's 9644 So we don't have that number anymore because that was a remote call forward, and we now use the 251-213-0559 number. But I didn't think that the company actually had an aggressive look, and we needed something that looked back at people. And I said, okay, where's my cat? Come here, baby. I said to myself, self, where's my cat? You might recognize this guy. Look up here. Look up here, baby. you might recognize them eyes in that company logo. That's his eyes. All right. So from there, I said cover cats. Cover cats. Let's take a C this way and then counteroppose it with another C and go this way. And then I put BB's eyes in between, and that's where the logo had come from. And I am a computer guru when it comes to Photoshop, and I love to play with Photoshop and do all kinds of things. So I took this in a AI, Adobe Illustrator format, brought it down to our local print shop, and had a fella named Paul at Zippy Print go ahead and put it in there as a vector file, and the vector file was then transformed and given a really cool alien skin. I told him, I said I wanted chrome letters. He says, well, let's go ahead and do all that, but let's put a chrome border background all the way around it. And so that's where the company logo comes from, guys. But that's, that is the history and logo of the company, and that's who we are, where we come from, and we do have a future. We do have God, my Father, and our Father in heaven is who I'm talking about. Not my dad, because he's still alive, but my Father in heaven, and we are, very close to God. I might cuss like a sailor, but I still have my heart in the right place when it comes to the Lord. So much so that I write praise and worship music, and I'll put a link to one of the songs I wrote in the description later on after this video. You guys can go ahead and review this video, or on the next video. If you look for, in the search window, Divine Telemetry, DIVINE space telemetry, TELEMETRY, Divine Telemetry, you're going to see a silhouette on a purple background sky, and of course you'll hear the song that I wrote. It's called For This Moment. I actually ended up playing that song for my mom's wake when she had her funeral, and so it was written for her and anybody else that's got a loved one that has passed away. You are more than welcome to use that video, because that's exactly what that song was written for this moment, here, now. So, guys, everything is looking good as far as the livelihood of the shop. I will say this, we're not out of the woodwork yet. There are other underlying issues that we're going to have to take care of, which I will not make public at this time until we're out of the woodwork. We've got some things that we've got to address, and some of those things are just sugar coated as much as I can. We've got a lot of catching up to do, so that's going to put me in a 16-hour workday instead of an 8-hour workday, and possibly some weekends, but we will get caught up. Cat's got 9 lives. We got 9 lives, or hope we got 9 lives. I'm lying. We don't have 9 lives. But anyway, we're going to get caught up. And I want to thank you guys for being on board. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are, let's see here. I go, but we rewatch and look it up later. And thanks, powers be. Glad you're safe. You know what? I appreciate that a lot. I'm glad we're safe too. And anybody else over here in this area that has experienced any kind of loss from Nate, I hope that they are doing okay and do well, or do better in the next couple of days or next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, we are here and everything is going smooth. I am planning on burning the midnight oil. We will be doing that. Maybe I'll get the wife in here to crack the whip, But in the meantime, we are here, and you guys can reach us by email, covercats@gmail.com, or you can call me direct. I don't, I don't mind putting my phone number out there. It's on just about every logo that we've got. It's 251-213-0559. It's on the intro videos and stuff like that. So if you guys got questions or anything like that, just give us a shout. And Central Time, Central Time in the United States from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 p.m. at night are our current hours. And sometimes I find myself up here at about maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like one of the other videos that I've got where I'm showing you the armrests on that 34 coupe. Which in a few minutes I'm going to have to get back onto that and get that turned around, get the 34 flipped upside down. Got to get out some more of that $70 material. Why can't people just be plain Jane? Well, if they did, I wouldn't have a job. So, I don't even know why I said that. But why do some things have to be more expensive than others? That brown material that I showed you for the Cabo is also $70 a yard. No lie, this stuff is my cost $70 a yard. I don't really have a major markup. I think that's 30% markup on my materials and stuff like that. So if I order $100 worth of material, I will put a 30% markup on it, which would make it $130 worth of material. That's how that works. And so that goes towards the livelihood and the benefit of the shop and the bills, and to keep that light on and that machine right there working, and to keep this business running. Alright guys, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the ones that actually reached out to us and said that they were glad we're okay. I appreciate you guys very much. I hope to in the future to earn your subscription. You guys be safe and have a good one, like Matt always says. Have a good one.